Well, this is live from New Delhi. You're watching TT India News Hour, India's voice to the world. I'm Sakal Bhatt, and coming up in the next hour. The top story, the BJP consolidates its lead in North Indian state of Haryana, goes past the halfway mark while Congress trails behind. Jan Nayak Janata Party and Aam Aadmi Party fail to even open an account. Indian Air Force celebrates 92nd Raising Day. Air Chief Marshal emphasizes Indian Air Force's commitment to indigenous technological development under Make in India initiative. President of India Draupadi Murmu to confer 70th National Film Award shortly. Legendary actor Mithun Chakravarti to be honoured with Dadasaheb Phalke Lifetime Achievement Award. Hurricane Milton weakens in Florida. In Category 4, according to the U.S. National Hurricane Center, evacuations ordered for over a million people in Florida's West Coast countries. Well, after a high-octane election campaigning in the North Indian state of Haryana and the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, well, it has been a verdict day for both the regions. We track the results for you. So counting of votes is underway for the elections in North Indian state of Haryana and the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir in North India. Let's take a look at these numbers that are trickling in. Well, the trends have been almost concluded. We begin with Haryana, where the latest trends show that the BJP is leading on 50 out of the 90 seats that were in the fray in these assembly elections, while Congress is trailing behind on 34 assembly constituencies. Well, that's how Haryana looks for you. The earlier trends in terms of leads are already out, where BJP is set course to form the third government in the third consecutive term, considering the leads that they have taken in 50 seats, which is that they have comfortably crossed the majority or the magic number of 46, with the Congress party still out of power and trailing behind, leading on 34 seats, which means that they will have to sit in the opposition in Haryana. With Aam Aadmi Party this time around going solo in Haryana on 90 seats, have failed to open their account, with the JJP also, which formed government in the BJP in the previous edition of assembly elections in 2019, have also drawn blank, with INLD, which is partnered with the BSP this time in Haryana, have just managed a lead on that one seat, while independents have managed, we'll have to see who these 5 independent candidates are, or maybe from some other small political outfits in the regional parties, have managed lead on 5 seats out of 90. And now shifting focus from Haryana to Jammu and Kashmir, where again 90 seats were in fray. BJP garnering leads in 27 seats. Remember, there were 43 seats in fray in Jammu and 47 in Kashmir region, where Indian National Congress, or the Congress party, leading on 8 seats. They were in coalition or combined with the Jammu Kashmir National Conference, maintaining a very comfortable lead on 43 seats out of 47, while PDP, the party which was ruling in 2014 during 2014 assembly elections, they formed government with the BJP in 2014, have been decimated to paltry 2 seats, where they've managed to take a lead on only 2 seats, a major setback for the Mehbooba Mufti's PDP, while others, which means independents, have performed much better as compared to the PDP and Congress party. These independent candidates are leading on 10 seats. And with trends showing inclination of words towards BJP, we are talking about Haryana. In the North Indian states of Haryana, party leader JVL Narasimha Rao considers it as a victory of the people, victory of development and of the able leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Let's listen in.
देखिए, भारतीय जनता पार्टी ये हरियाणा की जीत, जनता की जीत मानती है, विकास की जीत है, मोदी जी के कुशल नेतृत्व की जीत है, एक नम्रता की जीत है। दूसरी तरफ कांग्रेस पार्टी का अहंकार, और वो जीत मान चुके थे। ये 15 साल लगातार भाजपा का शासित सरकार हरियाणा में एक ऐतिहासिक विषय है, ऐतिहासिक जीत है।
BJP leader and Union Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan has said that work for the welfare of every community is taking place and that the current trends show that people have valued BJP's developmental work.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने अपने कामों के आधार पर जनता से वोट मांगे और आज जो परिणाम आ रहे हैं, कांग्रेस की जगह तीसरे स्थान पर चली गई है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी शानदार विजय की ओर अग्रसर है।
क्या सीधा करो?
और इन परिणामों ने यह साबित कर दिया है कि ठोस काम को ही जनता आशीर्वाद देती है।
Haryana Chief Minister or incumbent Chief Minister and BJP candidate from Ladwa Assembly constituency, Nayab Singh Saini, has exuded confidence of forming the government in the state for the third consecutive term. He added that BJP has worked a lot for the development of Haryana in the past 10 years.
हम विकास के मामले में भारतीय जनता पार्टी देश और प्रदेश को ऊंचाइयों के ऊपर लेकर के गई है। हमने बिना क्षेत्रवाद के ईमानदारी से हरियाणा प्रदेश का काम किया। इस बात को लोग एक्सेप्ट करते हैं। जब लोग एक्सेप्ट कर रहे हैं तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी तीसरी बार सरकार बना रही है।
Well, remember, the early leads are out, but counting of votes is underway, and BJP across the state of Haryana is celebrating the numbers in favor of their party, Bharatiya Janata Party, which seems to be set to form the government in the third consecutive term in Haryana. And after election results came in favor of BJP in Haryana, members of the party were seen celebrating at the party office in Ambala. And these are the visuals of the BJP cadre in Haryana celebrating at the party office. Rightfully so, because this is historic and unprecedented for any party in the heartland of Haryana staying or retaining power not once, not twice, but for third consecutive term. And that's BJP, which has created history of sorts in the North Indian state of Haryana, grabbing a major chunk of 50 in terms of leads out of 90 seats. And senior BJP candidate from Ambala Cant, Anil Vij, also made, in fact, he took a sarcastic dig at Congress's internal politics, taking a jibe at senior Congress leader and former Chief Minister Bhupender Singh Hooda. Anil Vij said there are people who wanted Bhupender Singh Hooda to lose.
कांग्रेस को हरियाणा की जनता अच्छी तरह सबक सिखाती नजर आ रही है। ये सवेरे सवेरे इन्होंने झूठ की दुकान खोली थी और वहाँ से नकली पानी, नकली बिस्कुट निकल रहे थे और नकली जलेबियाँ निकल रही थी। तो अब वो जो नकली चीज़ होती है, अगर किसी को नकली जूता पहना दो तो घर जाते जाते वो फट जाता है। अब वो फट चुका है और अब असलियत सामने आ गई है। और आप देखेंगे कि शाम तक जैसे जैसे राउंड बढ़ते जाएंगे वैसे वैसे पर ये गैप और बढ़ता चला जाएगा।
And as far as recent trends in Haryana, they show BJP has gone past the halfway mark, 50, that's what we are looking at. BJP's Gaurav Bhatia termed it as a victory or a win of democracy.
लोकतंत्र की जीत हो गई है और इसीलिए आज जो इतिहास रचा जा रहा है, जैसे रुझान आ रहे हैं, हम इंतजार करेंगे परिणाम में परिवर्तित हो और नया इतिहास लिखा जाए। तीसरी बार लगातार हैट्रिक हो रही है, जैसा प्रतीत हो रहा है पिछले चुनाव के परिणाम से बेहतर प्रदर्शन भारतीय जनता पार्टी कर रही है। हम सिंगल लार्जेस्ट पार्टी बन के उभरेंगे।
Shifting focus to Jammu Kashmir, counting of votes continue in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir in North India, where members of the National Conference and Indian National Congress, the alliance of the NC and Congress, are visibly celebrating the trends, the early trends during counting. The shots on your screen as party showed an edge in Jammu and Kashmir. National Conference winning a huge chunk of 40 plus seats out of 47 that were in the fray only in Kashmir region, with the former Chief Minister Omar Abdullah coming out with a resounding win from both the constituencies from where he's contesting. This is Hamid Kara, Congress leader and the PCC president there in Kashmir, Jammu Kashmir, celebrating with the party cadres. Former Jammu Kashmir Chief Minister and PDP leader Mehbooba Mufti's daughter Iltija Mufti, who was making a political debut and contesting from the Sriguwara Brijbehara street, which was considered to be PDP's bastion, has lost that seat, and she's conceded defeat in the assembly elections today as her party PDP is decimated to just 2 seats or 2 leads on 2 seats. And in an online post, Iltija said that she has accepted the people's verdict and she thanks her party's workers for extending her support during campaigning. Let's quickly go across to our special guest joining us on this special broadcast. Joining us live from Delhi is Shujaul Haq, senior journalist, who has covered numerous assembly and Lok Sabha elections in Jammu and Kashmir. Shujaul Haq joining us live on the broadcast. And also let's go across to DD India's reporters on ground from Doda in Jammu. Tahir continues to stay with us. And Shuja, coming to you first now. A massive upset for the PDP, that is very clear. But this big mandate for national conference, do you think this has come on expected lines? And what do you think is the underlying message of the verdict, considering first assembly elections after, abrogation of 370 and after a long gap of 10 years?
Well, Sakal, the underlying message is very clear. The support for BJP in Jammu regions is evident. We see, Congress almost at a very, far behind wicket, so to speak, at least in Jammu region, with leads only in a handful of seats. And on the other side, in Kashmir, it is a complete mandate for national conference with more than 42 seats that they are getting a lead on so far. It's a very clear-cut mandate from both the regions. While as you pointed out, parties like PDP or even the independents, they haven't sort of done well. It didn't seem to be taking off. But overall, if you look at it, the larger, bigger picture here is the message that the elections of Jammu and Kashmir, which happened after 10 long years, right, and a lot of changes happening in between, have seen an overwhelming participation. And this seems to be the election where people wanted their representatives to come out and give them a local governance.
Right.
And that's something that a lot of people would be looking forward to.
Right. And a quick one on BJP's performance in their own bastion, that is Jammu, in 2014, the elections which we both covered, 25 out of 37. And then you had delimitation, and now they are leading on 27 out of 43. How do you analyze this?
Yeah, so see, like I pointed out, it's a very clear message that BJP's core support base is intact, even after so much of so-called anti-incumbency that a lot of people were pointing towards, saying that since the state is being today with the lieutenant governor there, and they, in a sense, there is a lot of anger among people, particularly for the local governance. But that does not seem to have worked in Jammu region at least.
Right.
In Jammu, which is the core support area of BJP, it does seem to be very much intact. And similar is the story in Kashmir. There, the BJP does not seem to, have made any inroads at all. So there is a clear divide between Kashmir and
And
Jammu
Jammu.
in the mandate.
Shuja, how do you read the issues that were in the fray? I mean, if you look at the pattern of PDP's campaign and the issues that raised as compared to the national conference, the arch rivals, and there was this conversation that NC might look at PDP in terms of coming back to power, but that is definitely not happening. These elections were different in many, many ways, with many firsts, like you had Jamaat this time contesting and not imposing a blanket ban. You had separatists getting back to the mainstream and believing in power of democracy. And with that, this mandate for the regional powerhouse like National Conference.
Absolutely. I mean, this election is different in many ways. From the last assembly elections that J&K has seen, a lot of things have changed. The erstwhile state, is not in the same shape. I mean, there are two union territories have been carved out of that. Delimitation exercise has happened. The seat pattern has changed. So a lot of things have changed on the ground. And similarly, the issues have also changed, which we saw in the heated campaign that almost all the political parties, went through while they were campaigning in these polls. But the broader message here is one that people were yearning for local governance, and that reflected in the voter percentage that we saw. After all, we had some 63% overall voter percentage. In some phases, it almost touched 70%, which is unprecedented.
Yes.
So that is the bigger picture here. People were yearning for local governance, and certainly a message here is that there are clear and stark choices. People in Kashmir have made their choice very visible, while as people in Jammu have also done the same.
And post-abrogation, the kind of development paradigm shift Kashmir Valley has witnessed, to what extent that has played its role. I'm very glad to welcome in our Delhi studio KG Suresh, senior political journalist who is covered Kashmir politics, pre and post abrogation, and the earlier regime and the current ruling dispensation. KG Suresh, sir, thank you very much for joining us. And Shuja, requesting you to stay with us on that one. Do you agree with Shuja and your assessment of the results in Jammu Kashmir? And then we'll talk about Haryana.
I agree that, the people were yearning for local representatives, in the sense that howsoever good an administration may be, at the end of the day, people don't want to go and meet officers. They would rather prefer to meet their own representatives with whom they can be angry, they can shout at them, they can talk to them, So that comfort level is there when you have your own elected representative. And there is an accountability, unlike in the case of bureaucracy. So there is absolutely no doubt that the Lieutenant Governor's regime had done wonderful work. A lot of initiatives were taken to promote tourism, to generate employment, to bring about peace and stability.
Absolutely.
I mean, for example, post 370, one would not have expected that stone pelting has become a thing of the past. The demonstrations have become a thing of the past. So I think that the people, by and large, the way there was no boycott call this time.
Correct.
The percentage of vote has gone up. So the people of Kashmir have decided that they want peace. That is for sure. Second, this is a victory of democracy. This is a victory of India's democracy. 15 diplomats from various countries visited Srinagar as observers, and they saw for themselves that if this was a manipulated, and apprehensions were raised by some vested interest.
Today morning, Mr. Omar Abdullah himself talked about the transparency and the credibility of the results. And now, of course, he's there on the screen beaming ear to ear, and he has the reasons to.
Absolutely. And so vested interests were promoting that this would be biased, and the world has now seen that how transparent the electoral process was. And I would say that, these are parties which are committed themselves to the Constitution of India. They may have a viewpoint. So far as statehood is concerned, even if the BJP had come to power, they would have restored it. There is a clear-cut direction from the Supreme Court in that regard, and the BJP itself had said that we will restore, statehood. But the question is, Article 370, The question is about pre-1954 status.
The acceptance of the people and the acknowledgement of a massive shift on ground.
Absolutely,
I mean,
absolutely. That is very visible, you know. It is because certainly the security forces played a very important role in normalizing the situation. But having said that, let us also accept that the people of Kashmir have also accepted that now there is no point waging a meaningless battle against the state or the security forces. So let us pursue the peaceful method for development.
Free and fair polls, KG sir. No violence reported. Can I quickly go back to Shujaul Haq, because Kashmiri journalist on ground has covered many elections there. Shuja, no blanket bans, no fierce psychosis. Of course, security cover, but not the kind of security, multi-tiered security covers that we used to witness in earlier elections. This is new Kashmir. Shuja, a visible change on ground.
Visible change on ground, when while these elections were being held, we saw no boycott calls, definitely no sense of fear. The people's participation in itself is an indicator of that change. If I might, we used to see earlier internet bans during elections. None of that has happened. So clearly, there has been a lot of change, and I completely agree with what the other earlier panelist was saying. It's a victory for the democracy at large. Whoever wins, whoever makes the government, forms the government. But the larger point is that it's the people's will which has been reflected so well, in such large numbers. That is important.
Okay.
And one would only hope that those who form the government will be able to come up to the expectations of the people. But overall, I think it's an exciting time for the population of the entire region.
Okay. Shuja, I have two quick questions to you, and then we should focus to Haryana. An overall acceptance as far as, in fact, I'm going to take this one to our reporter Tahir also is there with us. Shuja, you can just address this and I'll take the same question to Tahir later. An overall acceptance from the people of Valley, the benefits or a huge advantage abrogation Article 370 on grounds. You see, the kind of campaigning that has happened in downtown, which earlier used to be bastions, with blanket ban calls and pallets and all those encounters even happening during electioneering. And that is something which signifies a big shift post 370 abrogation. Do you think that has had this resonance with the electorate of Kashmir?
Well, I think the answer lies in the voting percentage that most of these regions saw. Some of the places where you would hardly see anybody turning out for casting their votes did turn out. They came out. They in a large number exercised their rights, and that in itself is the indicator of the change, the shift that you're talking about. My sense again is that the reason to this is that people were yearning for local governance. People were yearning to see their representatives who would sort of give them the rights that they deserve. So that's the sense that one would see on the ground. But again, coming back to the same point, it definitely there has been a stark change, stark shift from the last time that the region saw assembly elections.
Okay. Shujaul Haq, just stay with us. Tahir, coming to you, give us an overall analysis of the numbers. All right, I agree that these are leads, but then I think the picture is more or less clear. It is absolutely clear. And now I'm sure the talks must be underway on the government formation and the bargaining power, whether this time around we get to see a deputy chief minister from Jammu, BJP garnering leads on 27 seats out of 43, and in 2014, 25 out of 37, just a gain of 2 seats here. We'll have to see if there could be more leads. We don't know. What are you picking up from your sources, Tahir?
Well, Shakal, the way results are coming in, that means BJP has consolidated its position. It was trailing, its stalwarts were trailing. Its vice president was trailing from Doda West seat, or its general secretary was trailing from Nagsani Padar seat in district Kishtwar. But eventually, both of them won in the last round That is a consolidation of a kind for BJP, and that is how it has happened. And they are gaining may gain of 2 seats. And as you said, the bargaining is also there. But one thing is clear that from both National Conference and Congress, there is no significant candidate who has won from Jammu province whom they can project as a deputy chief minister. Because Lal Singh, who was seen as a prospective candidate for the BJP from Congress, who can be put as a deputy chief minister, has lost his election from Putwa district. And similarly, another leader from this National Conference, Ajaksha, who has lost from Mad constituency. So at present, the bargaining, as you are saying that deputy chief minister should be from Jammu province, it is highly unlikely because no big leader or stalwart, both even from Congress or from NC, has won from these Jammu province as well. Although they have won a considerable seats from Ramban, Banial, and even BJP has lost its seat from Naushera, from where its party president Ravinder Rana was contesting. But still, you can't say that the candidates who have won are of that deputy chief minister material. But if they have got to give someone from Jammu, they must choose from what they have won from Jammu province. So onus is on National Conference and Congress leadership whom they choose as their deputy chief minister if they have got to choose from the Jammu province itself.
Okay. Shuja, you want to come here? A quick one on the way forward?
Well, I think things are more or less clear here. The numbers have pretty much given National Conference and Congress the edge here. So I don't think that there will be a lot of confusion with regards to who forms the government. In fact, we just heard Dr. Farooq Abdullah very categorically saying that the next chief minister is going to be Omar Abdullah.
Yes.
So, and as far as Congress is concerned, though they have some seats, I think about 7 or 8 seats where they are leading. But the number of seats that National Conference seems to be in a winning place gives them a clear edge of dictating terms here. So when it comes to the formation of the next government, I think it's pretty much clear it's going to be led by the National Conference, and Omar Abdullah is going to be the chief minister. And one point that we will have to really sort of keep watching is how they would make sure that the aspirations of the people in the Jammu region are sort of kept in mind. Because we see that overwhelmingly Jammu is voted for BJP, and if BJP is not part, there will be questions. There will be that will be asked about who addresses the aspirations of the region in question here.
Okay. Well, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much, Tahir, and thank you very, very much, Shajaul Haq, for joining us on this special broadcast on Jammu Kashmir. Thank you. And sir, let's quickly shift focus to Haryana, which gives us the biggest headline of the day. Now, what a win. I mean, unprecedented and historic in many ways, and putting all speculations of the exit poll pundits to rest once and for all. Here is BJP creating history, not once, twice, but thrice, third consecutive government. What happened, riding high on confidence?
Coming from Bhopal, I can say that I have witnessed the same thing few months back, both in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. Where also the poll pundits, as you put it, had predicted that it's going to be really difficult for the BJP to win. And to that extent, the pollsters have been in a way, put on the mat. And they are on the defensive now. Thankfully, Jammu and Kashmir saved them to some extent. But otherwise, people would have written the obit for, this exit polls. The very fact that, everybody, at least the perception, so far as perception is concerned, it was that the BJP is behind.
That perception was created.
That perception was created, and that perception was bought by a large number of people, including even some BJP supporters actually believed. So it is a big surprise even for some BJP supporters But many of the leaders who are actually working on the ground, with whom I was closely in touch, they had told me that nothing like that is happening.
Yeah.
It is going to be really different from what is being projected.
Yeah.
It is going to be, and it proved to be the kind of confidence that I saw, whether it is Chief Minister Nayab Singh Saini or the leaders there, they were pretty confident of an emphatic win, which seemed very out of the place in the backdrop of the kind of projections that were made. So I would say that no doubt that to say that it is only some analysts have started saying that it is, Congress has defeated itself. I would say that this is an emphatic win for BJP of their 10 years work. No doubt, Congress had scored many self-goals, including the contest already much before, they started naming the baby, much before the marriage happened, So they started who is going to be the chief minister. And then I would also say this over-projection of the Jat consolidation.
And what about Dalits?
That reports
Dalit
of the Jat consolidation, Dalit consolidation, that all backfired, you see. And if you look at the statistics as I see them now, you will find that in many of the seats, unlike last time, even in the traditionally Jatland seats, as we say, BJP has made deep inroads. So this is a reflective of the changing mindset of the people of Haryana, number one. Number two, that BJP has not played caste politics. It has tried to take everybody along, wherein even the Jat community, which was shown as the dominating community, also felt that there is transparency
so
today.
This 50 out of 90 is a rejection of sorts to the Jat calculus, which traditionally one would think has always worked in Haryana politics.
I think that, even Dalit, the kind of projections that were made, that because at the end of the day, one message that went out loud and clear throughout, that there is no discrimination in this government, that this government is fair to all communities. It is not, it was also sought to be projected as if it is only a non-Jat kind of a, coalition, the BJP. Whereas that's not the case. BJP has put up many Jat candidates, but it never played into any particular caste politics. It tried to take everybody along. And I think that this is a victory of that politics over the rabidly casteist narrative that is being built today. Whereas there is a demand for caste census, and there are people who are now asking for, people pointing out that even in Miss India you don't have people from a certain community, certain caste. This kind of politics has been rejected by the people of Haryana.
So there is no Dalit factor, there is no Jat factor, there is no Mayawati factor. I mean, BSP has not even managed to open an account. In fact, the senior partner INLD is only as of now leading on one seat. So Haryana has thrown a huge surprise. Suresh sir, impact of these results as far as now the next states in lines are concerned? You're smiling out there. I mean, is this going to be a
no doubt,
blanket advantage for the BJP, for the especially Maharashtra and Delhi?
Certainly any win, certainly in terms of optics is, but as somebody who has been analyzing Indian elections for pretty long time, I can say that state issues differs from one state to another. Now to say that the same thing is going to be repeated in Maharashtra, I think it's too early.
But does it set the tone of
certainly
confidence
it gives
of orders?
A morale. It is a, it boosts the morale. Suppose this win has happened. This would have been, suppose if the results had gone the other way.
Yes,
then I'm sure, Sakal, that this would have been, it would have been projected that this would have been an average.
These are the numbers, if you could just elaborate on a quick one. 2024, 50, 2019, 40, and they had to look out for support on 10 seats.
Absolutely.
And 2024, Congress had picked 34, but still they had to sit in opposition. In 2019, again, they were in opposition with 31 seats. They performed a little better this time around. And Aam Aadmi Party are, they've drawn blank.
I see the same pattern which happened in Madhya Pradesh, for example. You see, they were also continuously winning. Then last time there was a drop. And this time again they are, if you remember, then Jyotiraditya had to break away from Congress,
This is
and
history
then the
repeating
coalition.
itself.
But whereas here, if you see that now on its own, it is no more dependent. It doesn't need crutches anymore. So this is something which is pretty visible.
Far from clutches.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yes. Okay. That's all we have time for, KG Suresh sir. Thank you so very much
you.
for joining us and
Thank you.
analyzing the results for us.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now we take a short break on DD India. We'll be back with more news and updates on the other side, what's making headlines otherwise in India and across the globe. Stay with us. कैसे हो सर?
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Sakal Bhatt, and let's move on to some other news and updates. Indian Air Force is celebrating its 92nd Foundation Day on Tuesday under the theme Bharatiya Vayu Sena Saksham Sashakt Atmanirbhar, which means Indian Air Force potent, powerful and self-reliant. Air Force the celebration was held at the Chennai Air Force Station, featuring aerial displays and parade demonstrating, showcasing the strength of Air Force. The Chief of Defence Staff General Anil Chauhan graced the occasion as the chief guest, while Air Chief Marshal Amanpreet Singh took the parade salute. Both outlined several milestones achieved by the Air Force over the past year. The event was also attended by Air Force officers, veterans and their families.
The theme this year, Bharatiya Vayu Sena, Saksham, Shashakt, Evam Atmanirbhar, perfectly describes our aspirations. Over the years, we have become more empowered with better technology and achieved new levels of op exploitation of our systems and weapons.
President Draupadi Murmu congratulated Indian Air Force personnel, veterans and their families on the 92nd Air Force Day. She emphasized the importance of the force in safeguarding India during disasters and humanitarian crises. President Murmu also praised how the Indian Air Force has maintained the highest standards of excellence, conveying her greetings through a social media post. She also thanked their efforts towards nation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi extended his wishes to Indian Air Force warriors and shared a video on the social media site X, highlighting the courage and professionalism of the forces. Prime Minister hailed their role in protecting the nation.
चारों दिशाओं में गूंजता है विजय घोष। ये नए भारत का आह्वान है।
आसमान की बातें तो निराली होती ही है, इसमें कोई आश्चर्य नहीं कि आसमान में अपनी शक्ति का परिचय देकर के भारतीय वायुसेना ने हर देशवासी का ध्यान अपनी ओर खींचा, हमें सुरक्षा का एहसास दिलाया है। 8 अक्टूबर को हम वायुसेना दिवस मनाते हैं। 1932 में 6 पायलट और 19 वायु सैनिकों के साथ एक छोटी सी शुरुआत से बढ़ते हुए हमारी वायुसेना आज 21वीं सदी की सबसे साहसिक और शक्तिशाली एयरफोर्स में शामिल हो चुकी है।
हमारे पायलट्स आज भारत में बने तेजस लड़ाकू विमान, एडवांस लाइट हेलीकॉप्टर, लाइट कॉम्बैट हेलीकॉप्टर उड़ा रहे हैं। यही तो भारत शक्ति है। अब 5th जनरेशन लड़ाकू विमान भी हम भारत में ही डिजाइन, डेवलप और मैन्युफैक्चर करने वाले। रक्षा जरूरतों में आत्मनिर्भर होता भारत सेनाओं में आत्मविश्वास की भी गारंटी है।
देश के लिए अपनी सेवा देने वाले सभी एयर वॉरियर्स और उनके परिवारों का मैं अपने हृदय की गहराई से अभिनंदन करता हूं।
मेरे साथ बोलिए, भारत माता की।
And on the occasion of the 92nd anniversary of the Indian Air Force, a 4,300-kilometer mega-car rally was flagged off from Toys Military Air Base in upper reaches of Ladakh. The rally will culminate at Tawang Air Force Station in Arunachal Pradesh on October 29th. The Vayu Veer Vijeta car rally was flagged off by the Minister of State for Road Transport and Highways, Harsh Malhotra, alongside with West Delhi member of Lok Sabha, Kamaljeet Sherawat. The rally aims to raise awareness about the Indian Air Force's rich history, its rescue missions and the valor of air warriors to inspire youth to serve the nation. 52 IAF personnel, including women, are participating in the event, which also features former Air Force chiefs joining in on different legs of the journey. President of India, Draupadi Murmu, will be conferring the 70th National Film Awards in New Delhi on Tuesday. Veteran actor Mithun Chakrabarti will be conferred the Dada Saheb Phalke Award, India's highest honour in cinema. The best from among the films released in 2022 would be awarded.
The 70th National Film Award ceremony will take place on October 8th in New Delhi. The list of winners were announced in August and the National Award will be conferred by the President of India, Draupadi Murmu, at the Vigyan Bhavan. Renowned actor Mithun Chakrabarti will be honoured with the prestigious Dada Saheb Phalke Award. Among the films released in 2022, the best films have been selected for the National Film Awards. Rishabh Shetty won the Best Actor Award for the Kannada film Kantara, which also received the award for Best Popular Film for providing wholesome entertainment. The Malayalam film Atam received the award for the Best Feature Film. Manoj Bajpayee showcased his acting prowess and received a special mention for Gulmohar, which was declared the Best Hindi Film. Nithya Menon received the Best Actress Award for her performance in the film Tiruchitrambalam. Mansi Parekh was honoured as Best Actress for the Gujarati film Kutch Express, while the award for Best Costume Designer was given to Best Film promoting national, social and environmental values. Suraj Barjatia won the Best Actor Award for the film Uchai, and the Best Supporting Actress Award went to Neena Gupta for the same film. Pawan Malhotra received the Best Supporting Actor Award for the Haryana film Fauja. Ponniyin Selvan won awards for Best Cinematography, Sound Design, Background Music and Best Film. Preetham received the award for Best Music Direction for Brahmastra Part 1, while Arijit Singh was recognized as the Best Male Playback Singer. The award for Best Non-Feature Film went to Aina, directed by Siddhant Sareen. The award for Best Book on Cinema was given to Kishore Kumar, The Ultimate Biography, written by Anuradha Bhattacharya and Parthiv Dhar. These beautiful stories from India have received this national honour, establishing a dimension of success for Indian cinema. Bureau Report, DD India.
In other news, India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar held a meeting on Tuesday with his counterparts from Argentina. Minister Jaishankar said that discussions with Diana Mondino at the Hyderabad House took place. Well, economic activity doesn't appear to be picking up in Germany, Europe's industrial powerhouse. The latest factory orders data has put yet another dent into any hopes of a recovery. DW correspondent Chiponda Chimbelu is joining us live from Berlin in Germany for more details. What are the latest figures, Chiponda?
Well, factory orders in Germany tumbled in August and they fell 5.8% from July, and that is the biggest decline since January. Now, while that drop comes after 2 consecutive months of a rise in factory orders, the latest data is still cause for concern. Anyone who's been following German economic news knows that the trend hasn't been positive, and the latest factory orders show that. A deeper look into the data also shows 2 very different stories for the Eurozone and outside it. While new orders from outside the Euro area rose by 3.4%, they tumbled within the Euro area, falling more than 10%. And that was the case also for domestic orders. So that what that means is that whatever growth there is right now is coming from outside the Eurozone.
So having said that, how are German consumers responding to their economic worries? I think if you can hear me...
Well, consumer sentiment is,
yes,
of course, also increasingly a concern here in Germany. The HDE Consumer Barometer for October fell for the 4th month in a row, and it is now at its lowest level since April. Germans are now increasingly saving money as some of them fear potential job losses. Some of Germany's blue chip companies, software giant SAP and car maker Volkswagen, for instance, have already announced job cuts for this year. And the auto industry, one of the country's biggest employers, is shedding jobs as it struggles with the transition to electric vehicles and increasing competition from China.
So having said that, is there an end in sight to all this economic worries? When can we expect a turnaround of sorts?
Well, German media have been reporting that the government is set to revise its economic forecast for this year to a 0.2% contraction instead of the 0.3% growth that was previously forecast. Now, Berlin reportedly expects the economy to return to growth next year. But the picture for the rest of this year is gloomy, even in the lead up to Christmas, where even the retailers won't be getting much relief because, of course, Germans are increasingly saving money due to the economic outlook. And outside Germany and Europe, a lot will be riding on how the Chinese economy performs and how trade relations between the EU and Beijing develop over the coming months.
Thank you for joining us from Berlin. And now let's move on to the latest on Hurricane Milton, where after Hurricane Helene left a trail of destruction and devastation, United States braces for yet another stronger hurricane. That's Hurricane Milton, that is expected to make a landfall in Florida over the next 24 hours. And in the latest advisory issued by the U.S. National Hurricane Center, Milton has weakened to a Category 4 hurricane on Tuesday. And more than 1 million people have been ordered evacuation. A storm with wind speed up to 270 kilometers per hour hit southwest Florida. The landfall is expected to bring life-threatening storm surges, including some torrential rainfall, and even cause massive power outages that may last for days to come.
Well, we are in a state of alert. Still in precaution, but the hurricane apparently has an uncertain movement and how it will enter the Yucatan Peninsula easily until the end of the 14th. So we will probably have effects likely like a storm. No one knows how it is.
Well, security is being ramped up in Vientiane, Laos, ahead of the 44th ASEAN Summit. Armed soldiers and armored vehicles were deployed around the summit venue as a 4-day meeting gets underway. ASEAN foreign ministers are set to discuss critical regional issues, including climate change and Myanmar's political crises. Myanmar's representative is attending the summit for the first time since 2021 coup. Well, Russia claims to have controlled the settlement in Ukraine's Donetsk region on Monday. The Defense Ministry has said that military also hit personnel and equipment concentrations in 129 areas. It added that 5 US-made high-mobility artillery rocket systems and 74 Ukrainian drones were also shot down. While Ukraine's military said it shot down 18 drones launched by Russia overnight on Tuesday, it added the troops also attacked a large oil depot near the port of Feodosia in the eastern Crimea. The General Staff of the Ukrainian Armed Forces reported a total of 88 combat clashes in the frontline regions, stating that the situation on the front lines was still grim. And staying with Ukraine, Ukraine's Armed Forces Commander General Alexander Sirkisi has held a telephonic conversation with the chairman of the U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff, Air Force General C.Q. Brown on Tuesday. Sirkisi says they discussed the military component of the Ukraine's victory plan. He added that he also briefed Brown on the battlefield situation and Ukraine's critical weapons and equipment needs ahead of a meeting at the U.S. Ramstein Air Base on October 12th. And now let's take a look at the other stories making news around the world. A record number of climbers have gathered in Tibet aiming to summit the world's 14th tallest peaks. About 20 mountaineers are attempting this remarkable feat this month. UK's Pop Store is hosting a major auction featuring over 1,800 rare film and TV items. Highlights include the Russell Crowe's helmet from Gladiator movie and a Sand Trooper helmet from Star Wars: A New Hope. In Nigeria's capital, Abuja, the Deaf in Tech project is transforming the tech industry for individuals with hearing impairments. This initiative seeks to bridge the skill and employment gap for differently able through a collaboration with Data Lead Africa. Foxconn chairman Yong Liu kicked off Hon Hai Tech Day 2024 in Taipei. Liu highlighted companies' manufacturing capabilities in meeting the growing demand of the artificial intelligence components and infrastructure. Foxconn is also known as Hon Hai Technology Group, which continues to be positioned as global tech leader.
Good morning.
Well, that's it for this edition of DD India News Hour. But let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We will be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Sakal Bhatt from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India News Hour.